All right, Dolphin fans, how are we doing on this fine Monday? It's 49 degrees here in Maryland, and you ever get something in your head that you should probably keep to yourself because it could be bad juju, but maybe keeping it to yourself is bad juju.
Hmm. What are you alluding to, sir?
so, so we're the one seed, right?
We are, right?
Right now we are the one seed,
I couldn't
and
tell if it was us or
and
Jacksonville.
and we're 9-3.
Hmm.
So you could extrapolate that out to be in 1993. And in 1993, we went 9-3 with the Leon Lett game,
Oh,
and
this
we
is
never won another game, missed the playoffs.
Oh my god.
I'm sorry.
Why you gotta be like that?
I'm a battered and abused Dolphin fan. So right now
That's
I have tunnel vision on that Ravens game. That's not even the Cowboys game. I mean, the Cowboys could be obviously, but I have tunnel vision on that Ravens game. But
yeah. I mean,
for
you
now, the
should.
big
It's the
question
toughest game on the
is,
schedule.
what's that?
I said you should. It's the toughest game on the schedule.
Yeah. I mean, at Baltimore at New Year's Eve. But the big question is, I up to now I have figured out why you've put your names, but why I can't figure out why today is Ray Lucas Day.
Because Ray Lucas had such a shiny and beautiful bald head, and it was a reminder to myself that I needed to shave before I came on to this review, but I did not do that.
You did not
So,
do that.
you know, be the people you aspire to be.
Gotcha. Yeah. Well, as soon as John Travolta saw I shaved my head and looked better, he shaved his. Funny how that works out.
Yeah, no, I mean, I am a head shaver now. I just get lazy with it, and it'll get like
Yeah, no, I
this
get
here.
it. I get it. My dad leaves it that way on purpose. He doesn't want
Oh
to shave.
boy.
Yeah. Yeah, my mother likes it. That's
She
that's what we've
likes.
that's and I wouldn't believe her, but she had slash has the hots for Dr. Phil. She
Oh,
has a thing for the horseshoe. I don't
you
don't
know, it's
know, man.
I think I could say the same about my mom too, because my dad's shaving it now, but for the
Right.
longest time he had just the Uncle Phil. But like I'm talking about, like he had like the hair out,
Yeah.
right, and then just
Yeah.
falling on the top.
Yeah.
She didn't want him to shave the rest of it. I never understood why. I was like,
Yeah. Yeah.
but
Hell, life is strange. So anyway, Ray, um, we're 9-3. We're the top seed for now. It depends
mhm.
on what happens tonight.
That's what I meant. Like, so if Jacksonville wins tonight, they're the top seed because they have the tiebreaker
Yes.
based on because conference record's the
Yes.
same, but I think they have one more division win, so whatever.
And to be honest with you, I of course I would love to see Cincinnati beat Jacksonville tonight. However, as long as if Jacksonville loses, then the Dolphins have something that they have annually consistently not been able to handle. And that is they have their destiny in their own hands.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, exactly. The last thing Dolphin fans want to hear is winning. Winning, you're in, Dolphin fans, because I mean we did it last year barely against the Jets, but
Hmm?
I'm we're all just waiting patiently until we play in quotes a good team. We'll put it that way. So, what did you get from yesterday's game besides Jerome Baker Owl?
Mm. Yeah, that was tough. But what I did get is Andrew Van Ginkel is a starter in this league. Like, I don't want to say this is Lou Gehrig, Wally Pipp, like, because Jalen Phillips is still a stud,
Right.
but we're gonna have to find somewhere to make room because I said it on one of your videos about him that Van Ginkel keeps reminding me of Clay Matthews, and it's not just because of the hair. Of course, the hair
Right.
is a part of it,
Yeah.
but I think you saw yesterday that dude is Clay Matthews, bro.
Right.
Like that pick six was insane. Like
Yep.
the the reaction time, because he's coming off. First of all, he's not trying to intercept bats. He's trying to hit a quarterback. So it's like how we were talking about a few weeks ago with Tua, how like, oh, I was trying to hit Cedric Wilson here, but then he saw here, and I had to like change in the last moment. You know what I mean? That's literally what Van Ginkel was having to do. I'm going to hit quarterback. Ooh, a ball.
I watched his interview.
Yeah.
He gave, and unfortunately, he may have the hair, but he doesn't have the personality of Clay Matthews.
Oh man,
very. It's not like he's got a bad personality.
No, I got you.
But you kind of expect like this outgoing, bubbly, cracking a joke guy. He's very bland, very mild mannered.
So he's like Drago. Like, I must break you.
Not quite. No. Unless he more like the young pastor at your church who just didn't quite. Yeah. He just But anyway, the point was that he talked about that play, and what he said was he had been watching. I'm paraphrasing, of course, but basically he had been watching film, and he knew that if the tackle made a certain move, that pass was being thrown. So he said he couldn't believe it. He saw the tackle make that move, and he instantly just went for the interception. And so he credited that he was watching film with getting the break on that ball because he caught the tackle's toe.
So on one hand, I can't give him credit for the amazing body control that I thought I saw.
Right.
But on the other hand, the guy watches film, and I fucking love that.
Yeah.
Because there's so many dudes that don't.
Yeah. He was very happy about that. So
that guy's a starter in this league, and like I said, I'm not trying to get rid of anybody, but at the same time, you better make room because that guy needs to still be here.
Right. Yeah. And they both play the same side. I mean, when Phillips was out earlier this season, I said in one of my recaps, I was like, Phillips, take all the time you need, man. We're good.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? We're good over here. I don't know. Because technically Van Ginkel was playing linebacker when Phillips was playing end. And now we're a little bit more dinged up. Now McDaniel, where did I get that from?
McDaniel.
How did I? What? I guess that's Van Ginkel and McDaniel mixed together. McDaniel.
Yeah, we're merging families.
Yeah. McDaniel said that he didn't think Baker was a season-ending injury. So,
well, that's good.
Yeah,
and maybe we'll be able to see in the playoffs like how that looks with everybody out there.
Right.
He needs to because that's what I'm saying. Like, it's not a Luke Eric Wally Pipp situation. I'm not saying get rid of Jalen Phillips, but I'm also not saying when Jalen Phillips comes back to send Van Ginkel back to the bench. So we gotta do something.
Yeah. No, it's gonna be. Well, I mean, we're not gonna have to cross that bridge next year. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So for now, Duke Riley moved into Baker's spot. He played good.
He did play good.
He did okay. Baker is. I mean, I'm not ragging on the guy because he got hurt, but it's not like it's Zach Thomas back there. You know what I mean? He's a good, solid guy. He's in coverage a little bit.
Back that would keep you out of the national championship because he got hurt.
So Stu, I called him Stu. So Trey would like to talk. Trey, I give you got 2 minutes. Trey's an FSU fan. Go for it.
I'm just saying that what happens on the field should matter more than the logo on the helmet. And the worst thing about all this, because I'm going to sound like an asshole here, and I don't intend to, and I don't intend to disrespect anybody. The worst part about all this is that Jordan Travis isn't that good. He's not bad. Like, he's a game manager. And he has all the FSU records because he's been a starter for like 7 years because of COVID. He's solid. Don't get me wrong, but he's not oh my God, they can't play in the national championship now because Jordan Travis got hurt. Because if that's the case, then give him the Heisman. If you think he's the greatest quarterback who ever lived, and this undefeated team can't even be in the playoffs because he got hurt,
Right.
then give him that award that says best player in the country. Oh, he's not that? Okay, then let them play.
Right.
Like, that's where I'm at right now. And I don't mean any disrespect to Jordan Travis, even though I kind of just buried him right there.
No,
What I'm saying is,
I don't see it that way.
he's not Jameis Winston. He's not Charlie Ward. Like, if that was the kind of guy who got hurt, then I'm like, okay. But
Right.
truth be told, Rodemaker, who is the second quarterback now, he didn't play in the championship game this past weekend because he had a concussion, but he would be healthy for a playoff game. He has more arm talent. He's just second string because of the experience thing. Like I said, Travis has been there since COVID.
Right.
But that's all I'm saying. Like, what happens on the field should matter. Thankfully, in the NFL, it does. Otherwise,
Yes.
the Super Bowl every single year would be the Cowboys versus the Steelers.
You think? Right. Right. No, look, all I'll say is I'm born and bred a Miami Hurricanes fan, and y'all got shafted. All right. I mean, it's just, 13-0 is 13-0. Now, if there were 6 13-0 teams and you lost out to 4 undefeated teams as well, okay. But not 1, but 2 other teams with 1 loss.
Think
It's
about
like,
if
eat a
that
bag
was
of
one of the
dicks, man.
tiebreakers for home field for the Dolphins right now. If, like, let's say the Dolphins and the Chiefs finished with the same record, and okay, the Dolphins had a better conference record, but our eye test says the AFC West is better than the AFC East.
Right.
So the Chiefs get the bye because you only had a better conference record because we think the Jets stink. Right?
I know.
Even though the Broncos are right there.
I know. So, all right. That concludes college.
I did my best to steer it back to pro.
That's okay, man. I get it. Believe me, I understand.
I steered it back around to the bye week talk.
I understand. So, other than that, man, I mean, look, the big thing from yesterday was, and I saw you left a comment. I wanted to leave my response to this. The thing about Tua throwing to a spot was as you say, was definitely confirmed, because Tyreek apparently went to the sidelines and told he threw it to the wrong spot, and Tua was like, no, man. And they watched the film, and it was Tyreek breaking it in when it should have been going out, and Tua did not throw it to where Tyreek was. He threw it right to where Tyreek was supposed to be.
You ever had, like, when you're a little kid and you're talking to either a parent or a teacher, someone in an authority position, and you're just talking about what happened and you accidentally tell on your friend because you're just laying out the events as they happened?
Yeah.
I think Tyreek did that to Tua because he totally meant it as a compliment. But it's like,
right.
You just told on Tua there. He's throwing at the spot and not the person. And again, I don't play quarterback. I'm just a fan. For all I know, that's what they're teaching them to do. But I wouldn't understand why, because I assume, and maybe this is where I'm wrong, I assume if you're not looking at the receiver and you're just looking at the spot, you're not looking at people in general. So if you're not looking at your receiver, you're also not looking at the DB. So if you're just throwing at the spot and the DB's there, it gets picked off. And the film kind of confirms that this happens.
Right. That's exactly what happens. That's the 2 times, although it didn't happen yesterday. That's the normal 2 to sometimes 3 times a game. We all scream, where the hell is he throwing the ball? It's because the receiver went the other way and the corner didn't, and the ball was just right there. So you kind of have to live and die by the sword there. But the thing that I find funny is just, and this is not being critical. I mean, look, because I was talking with Kyle about it on the stream, and like, yeah, Marino would take 3 steps back, and it was like a flick of the wrist, and the ball was 40 yards. Like, what do you mean? And I showed him some highlights where he would just like, I mean, his arm. You're like, did his arm move? I mean, it was, his release was insane. but with Tua, it's like all the body language. It's like, I'm gonna close my eyes, and I'm just yeeting the ball down the field. But somehow it goes in pretty much exactly where he wants it to go.
Yeah.
And But watching his throwing motion, I have no idea how.
Well, I mean, Phillip Rivers had a funky throwing motion, and he was a very successful quarterback. He got made fun of for it. And there's people like that. Sean Marion, he was a basketball player with the 7 seconds or less Phoenix Suns. He shot the ball like this,
Right?
but it went in. He was a really
But it
good
went
3-point
in.
shooter. But if it gets the job done, I'm cool with it. It's when
Yeah.
it looks funky and you're not getting the job done. That's when it's like Shaq shooting free throws. It not just looked bad. It didn't make it either. We should have done something about that.
Yeah. Poor Shaq. But yeah, so you had the 2 long plays. And then obviously it was good to see a Chan back out there. Mostert has his 14th? Was that his 14th league leading touchdown? Did you get him in fantasy?
No, but that was one of the people I have 3 teams, right?
Okay.
And I had to draft my dad's team because my dad was out of town and he was somewhere where he wasn't gonna have reception. He was in Montana hunting. My dad's team is by far the best team I drafted, and it's not even my team. So yes, he has Mostert and he has Tyreek.
Oh shit!
Yeah,
I'm
a good son.
Yeah, it's the fear. It's the fear of screwing up your dad's and never hearing the end of it. Like for us,
Travis Kelce as his tight end, and he's so upset because he had so many people on buys this week. He had to play a tight end in the flex spot. That second tight end, Sam Laporta. You're welcome, Dad.
Oh, jeez.
So, kind of, sort of have Mostert, but it's not really my team.
It's not really your team.
But I did draft it.
But you
better get me something really good for Christmas because he has the extra money coming in.
Oh, I love it. Now, how many weeks does fantasy run these years? Because I know it used to be over. Like the Super Bowl used to be like the 15th game back when I used to play.
So typically you have your Super Bowl the second to last week of the season so that you don't get screwed over by people resting their players for the playoffs and stuff like that. Yeah. So week 6 or 17 it would be now because of it being an 18-week season.
Gotcha. So
I'm sure there's some leagues that don't actually. This is only the second year of an 18-week season in the NFL, and I don't remember necessarily last year. I'll check and see if we go that extra week now. I don't know if we do or not. We probably do, but if you could play an extra week, why not, right? And make more money.
That's the companies
make more money. I mean, it's the same buy-in for everybody.
That's a good point. Funny story, because I've been talking about, on the Panther streams, talking about betting. Maybe I'll sign up and bet. And so I signed up for Caesars and I went to place my first couple bets. And you know how they use the geolocation, right? I didn't pay any attention to it at all. And when I went to place my bet, I was on Caesars, New Jersey. I'm like, I don't live in New Jersey. So I tried to just switch to Caesars, Maryland. You got to create a whole brand new account. So it was only like 10 minutes before the stream. I'm like, well, screw it. I can't do this now. But what sucks was the bet that I would have made money. So I've already lost money. I haven't even placed the bet yet.
Dude, I didn't even think about it until I got here. I got to Houston 2 days ago, right? Didn't even think about it until I already got here. Texas does not allow sports betting.
Oh, you didn't even think about it. Oh, man.
So now what I'll have to do when I make a bet is I'll have to hit up one of my buddies in Louisiana and have them log into my account and place the bet for me. So you can go on, you can look at everything on the site. You can do everything. You just can't place the bet because you're not in the state. So yeah, I had to hit my friend and be like, all right, log into my thing and do this parlay. And hockey's cool because so a popular thing to do right now in football is anytime touchdown parlays. You can do it across multiple games. Like you can bet, I think Tyreek's going to get a touchdown today, Jamar Chase will get a touchdown today, and Nico Collins will get a touchdown, right? You could do that with anytime goals in hockey.
Oh, wow.
So across all the NHL tonight, you can be like, Reinhardt's going to get a goal, and Mitch Marner will get a goal, right? So I like doing those, even though I don't hit them very often because I like putting Barkov in them for some reason.
Oh, jeez. Brilliant.
Yeah. Maybe I
Yeah.
start putting Kachuk in them.
Yeah. He's getting ready to go on a heater for sure. But hey, look, so we beat a bad team. That's what needed to happen. And now looking ahead, I should have had this ready
We beat
here.
all the bad teams. Unlike Kansas City.
We've got now
games.
we've got Monday night, and they're playing the 2 Monday night games again.
Really?
And we got the Titans in Miami, so
That's good.
yeah. I mean, it's not that's any of these games could be a trap game, right? But now we've got the 3 in a row at home. We've got the Titans, the Jets, and then the Cowboys. So
need to take all 3 of those.
And then, yeah. And then all that's left after that is the road game against the Ravens. And then that last game of the year against the Bills where they better start winning some games. What's that?
Who knows what's going on up there? Like, you already had people in the locker room pissed at each other before they started losing games, and now they're dropping games. So who knows how they're going to be that week?
Right.
Honestly, if we win the next 3 games, we might be in a position where the Baltimore game, quote unquote, doesn't matter.
Yeah, that would be. I don't know. I don't know about that because you talk about the top seed in the AFC,
right?
Yeah. So I mean, we don't have the tiebreaker against Kansas City,
but we're a game up,
right? So, but we need to be 2 games up.
Right. I'm saying we win the next 3, and who knows what Kansas City's doing.
Right. Yeah, I see what you're saying.
So we just might be in that position.
Yeah. What I'm hoping for is we don't need the Bills game. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, that could be the one thing that brings them back together.
Right.
Like they're trying to get themselves traded up out of town, and all of a sudden it's like, wait, we can mess up the Dolphins season. All right, let's band together, boys, like a Disney movie.
Yeah,
all of a sudden they drop 50 on us.
And they'll make a big deal out of it. Meanwhile, we played Skyler and the kid that fumbled, the running back that got 3 carries. You notice McDaniel didn't put anybody in yesterday that was going to fumble the ball. He ran a Chan in that fourth quarter. Chan ended up with 17 carries.
Yeah, knock that rust off.
Yeah, maybe that's true. Maybe that's true. Jeff Wilson got in for a couple of carries, and then they put a Chan back in to get the touchdown. But I mean, that's a few weeks in a row now where it's just like this is a very unusual way that we're watching the Dolphin games. Because, like, I mean, okay, we lost to the Chiefs, right? And then the Raiders game was close, you know what I mean? But we never really felt like, I never felt in danger of really losing that game.
No, it was just a slow start. We did not have a slow start yesterday. Look at that.
Right. And then the Jets game was just kind of, we're winning it. And yesterday it was like, okay, we're kicking their ass. So it's a very odd feeling sitting there in the chair in the couch where you're just like, this is the Dolphins, and we're just basically like, can we just get to the playoffs already? You know what I mean?
This is the life of having a team that has a top quarterback and a top coach. Even though we can pull our hair out sometimes with both of them, look around the rest of the league, and all of a sudden you're like, oh, yeah, we got it pretty good.
Got it pretty good.
Those are the teams that are successful. You know what I mean? Like, obviously, you're going to say Andy Reid and Mahomes above them, right? And then some people will say Shanahan and Purdy. But then after that, and Hurts and Sirianni.
Face.
What?
I said the guy with the punchable face.
Yes. The reason why I was like kicking myself for blanking on it is because there was a legendary high school coach at Fort Myers High School where I grew up, and his name was Sirianni. And I knew it was the same name. I'm like, how are you forgetting this name? But yeah. So even if you put all those guys above them, that's 5th. So like they're a
Right.
top 5 coach quarterback pairing.
Yeah.
This is the life of having that kind of team.
Yeah. Yeah. And the defense is getting better as the season goes on. And that's
Mhm.
that's really what's making the difference here.
And you got to watch a team that had that top pairing along with a good defense for a very long time. And
yeah.
well, it's going to be
Yeah.
nice if it's us this time. You know what I mean? It was
Right.
horrible watching it, but it's going to be really cool watching
Yeah, it
this.
was annoying as hell. I mean, all those years with the Patriots, it was like a cat with a mouse, man. It was
Mhm.
just like we would be winning 7-3 out of the first quarter, and then we'd be losing 13-10 at halftime. And you'd think, oh, hey, is it right? And before you knew it, it was 27-10. We were done. Belichick would make all those adjustments in halftime, and he would just come out ripping us a new ass every damn game.
I'm
And
not saying this team has become the cat just yet, but this team is making all of the right moves to become the cat.
yep. Yeah. I mean, there's only a handful of teams. I'm really interested to see how we handle Baltimore.
Mm-hmm.
That's really the one team, because I feel like, you know, Kansas City, I feel confident we could beat them. I know they beat us, right?
Mm-hmm.
But especially if it was a home game for us, if we managed to pull off that. Um, Jacksonville, I feel confident in. Any of the other wild card teams, definitely feel confident about. But Baltimore is kind of that one team. It's just like,
Baltimore's a good test. Even if the scenario I painted a few minutes ago, even if it record wise doesn't matter, like it still matters as far as playing a tough team on the road,
right.
and it's going to be cold. It's
Yeah.
Maryland on New Year's Eve. There ain't no way around it. Maybe it's not snowing that day, but it's still going to be cold. The field's going to be hard. All of
Right.
the stuff that normally scares all the Florida teams, not just the Dolphins,
Yeah.
that'll all be out there. So it'll be good to see, regardless if we have home field or not. You need to see if you can win in that environment or not.
Yep. Yeah, that's a good point. Well, because if we don't, then we have to, right? That
Right.
that's the other thing. If we don't get that top seed, just the difference. I mean, most likely, and we haven't clinched the division yet, but most likely we're at least going to get that first home game. Home.
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember last time we had a home playoff game. Jeez.
Yeah, and if the Jags are the ones that get the bye, I mean, obviously we want the bye because we want the bye.
Yeah.
But if we have a home playoff game and the Jags are the top seed, like, hey, that's nice.
Yeah. Because then at least more chance if second round would we? Well, it depends on the records. So
Now watch,
just try.
because Jacksonville's basically southern Georgia. It'll be snowing in Jacksonville that week. Just because I'm saying we'll take this. It'll be like, oh look, snow in Jacksonville.
Yeah. Hey, it had when I was in kindergarten in Miami, they took us outside. It was flurrying in our hands.
It snowed in
Yeah.
Louisiana 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Not so much in New Orleans and like frosted in New Orleans, but like Baton Rouge got snow.
Damn. They must not have known what to do.
They didn't because, dude, so it never snows there, right? So they don't
Yeah.
have any like salt trucks or any of that stuff. Like, why would you even have the truck to begin with? They didn't.
Right.
So there was nothing they could do about there, no snow plows or anything. They were having to bring that shit in from other states. And
Oh
basically they're
man.
only getting snow plows in. So as far as like salting the roads, like, no, you
Yeah.
have to figure this out. And it's people in Louisiana who have never driven on snow before trying to figure it out with training wheels off.
Oh man. Yeah.
It was
Yeah. I
bad.
remember the first time when I was in Alaska.
Hmm?
I never drove off the road, but there were numerous guys who made, I mean, good money, like 200,000-300,000 a year, really good money, and they had their big trucks, and all they had their trucks and they had their CB radios because it wasn't cell phones, and all they did all winter long there is from like October
Wow,
to
so
April, right? Is they would just drive up and down the highways, $200 a pop, pulling people out of the ditch, pulling. I mean,
oh
they
no.
all day, every day, because
Jeez.
it's a 4 lane, it's 2 way,
Mm-hmm.
and then there's the I call it the ditch, but it's just the side of the road. But if you slide off the side of the road into the ice, into the, the mush, you ain't, if you got yourself a little Honda Civic, you ain't going nowhere, right?
And which is why they can name their price pulling you out.
Yeah, exactly. He's like, dude, how much? Whatever. Here's the money. Just get me the hell out of here. Yep. So, all right, Dolphin fans, we're 9-3. Don't get mad at me for the statistic I gave you at the beginning. That undoes it. It's the flying fluffy effect. As soon as I bitch about it, it won't happen.
I get it. Dolphins fans are battered. It's the same reason why it took so long, and even some fans still haven't, but for the most part they have. It's why it took people so long to come around on Tua. Yeah. Because everybody's like, we're waiting for the other shoe to drop, which always happens with every quarterback after Marino. We're battered. Like, you start naming off all the other – look at my name right here. You start naming off all the other quarterbacks. Yeah. It's like, they're not here anymore. They can't hurt you.
Can't hurt. Ryan Tannehill, it's just,
that'll be next week, right?
Between Ryan Tannehill and Chad Henne, the years that we just gave to just maybe. And Tannehill, of course, when he left, he got close, with Derrick Henry and everything. So, all right, 9-3 top seed for now. We'll see what happens. I don't know if Kyle and I are streaming or not tonight. I brought it up to him. It wasn't real.
We got the subs.
I know. Thank you all. We're over 500 subscribers. I still short on the watch hours. I still need about 400 or 500 watch hours.
Okay.
So, yeah, that should come. On a normal stream, we get like 50. So between a few more streams, which is
that's
why
like 150 hours, right? Because it counts them for when it counts.
No, that's what I mean. Combined for a normal stream, we get about 50 watch hours.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, no. There's not 50 people in the chat. It's not a Panther stream.
Right. Exactly. Exactly. Yeah. Not yet. I was last night when the Packers were playing the Chiefs, I just scrolled by. I didn't go in Tom Grossi's stream. He had 10,000 people on his stream, bro.
Yo, everyone just come on the stream tonight for 5 minutes.
Yo, man, he had 10,000 people on the stream. And I'm thinking if 10% of those people gave $2, I'm doing the math. I'm like, son of a bitch.
I like that guy. I hadn't really followed his thing. Well, I knew he rated you last year, but that's all I ever do. That's the guy who rated Jaws. That's all I knew. But then I went to his thing, shot him a super chat as a thank you for this one, and I'm listening to him for a second. I liked his energy. He was he's a digestible Steve Dangle.
Yeah. Yes.
Steve Dangle, I will only watch after the Panthers kick the shit out of the Maple Leafs because I take joy in that. But Grossi, I would watch on a neutral thing.
Yeah. No, he's good. He's a good guy. So,
but the energy's similar.
Yeah, pretty much.
But he's a digestible version.
Yeah, exactly. All right, guys. Appreciate it, and maybe we'll see you tonight.